Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. So, if you have an old Jeep Grand Cherokee, chances are you have the dreaded stalling and dying issue. I fought through several issues on that one. It's a 1998 with a 4.0 inline 6-cylinder engine in it. Found a bad vacuum leak, fixed that. That solved most of the stalling issue. But it would occasionally, just for no apparent reason, just die. And in the process of checking stuff out, I broke the rotor when I opened up the distributor cap. So I went ahead and put a distributor cap and a rotor in it. I had no telling how long it had been since it had spark plugs. So I went ahead and put new plugs in it, even though the plugs looked good. When we first got it, one of the plugs had a busted insulator. This is a good plug that came out. I don't know if you can see this or not. My GoPro doesn't have the viewing camera screen on the back. Anyway, turns out it was the crankshaft position sensor that everybody talks about. $42, about an hour worth of work to change it once I found it. And I thought we'd open it up and see what's in it. Kind of reminds me of the What's Inside guys, Dan and Lincoln, on their YouTube page. So here it is, chucked up in a vise, ready to go. I'm gonna open it up with a die grinder. Let's see what's inside this bad boy. What makes it go bad? I'll see you in a minute. Hopefully we're getting something here. Okay, so it's got some probably nylon, maybe. Oh, bravissimo. Okay, little circuit board in there. Anytime you've got electronics are very durable unless something happens. And I would imagine that this is subjected to some substantial heat over time, being that this end resides, most of this end, actually probably this much of the device, resides inside the transmission belt housing. And this magnet is, the flux lines of the magnet are activated by something on the flywheel as it runs around. So something inside of here is probably shorting out. Maybe when electronics is giving it up for just one cycle and it was killing the spark. The vehicle was just flat out dying for no reason and without any warning. And wait a few seconds, turn it back on, it's good. Maybe we're just getting hot. That is very interesting to me, because I don't know enough about electronics and components to know exactly what this stuff is for. But you have solder joints back here going to the wiring, I suppose. You have, maybe that's a temperature sensor. That's 3 light triode of some sort, triac maybe, I don't know what that is. Don't know what it'd do. But your magnets apparently only go about probably 3/8 of an inch back. Little rectangular cube magnet to a small circuit board. A couple devices here. I don't know what those components are. This component here looks like there's only the 3 traces. Three wires, and then these 2 devices. And all that can cause Jeep owners so much headache. Now that I know what's in it, I might recommend changing that thing out more often, just as a matter of precaution. The circuit board sits in this black plastic housing, and the magnet sits in there, and then the whole thing is filled up with this clear resin, I don't know, nylon, whatever it is. No telling what it is, I don't know. And then sealed up in this ABS plastic cover. Okay. Do with that information what you will, but I'm kind of glad I changed it. Incidentally, that was the solution to keeping the Jeep from dying. It's run now for 2 weeks and hasn't died since. And my daughter's very happy, being it's her Jeep. She didn't like cruise on the highway, just go poof, and you're done. So you get pulled over to the side of the road safely and hopefully and rebooted. Okay, y'all have a good day. Bye. Hey, pretty good. Let's focus this close. Okay, this is a crankshaft position sensor opened up from a Jeep Grand Cherokee 1998. I imagine they're all the same. It has this almost a cube magnet in the end, and this circuit board, and this component, I can't read what it is just quite yet, with the 3 leads coming out of it, sits right on that magnet. 3 traces in the circuit board to those 3 junctions for the wires, I'm sure, and then 2 more components back here that I don't know what they are. This black plastic is apparently nothing more than a holder for the circuit board and the magnet, and then the entire thing is filled up with this, oh, I don't know, beige. Oh, it's not nylon, some kind of resin or something. And then it's coated in an ABS plastic sheath or shield housing, whatever you want to call it. That line across that magnet is from my die grinder I used to open up this plastic. This is a device that causes so many Jeep owners so many headaches, with the Jeep just dying on the side of the road for no apparent reason. If anybody has any clue what these components are, I'd be really curious to know, just for my own edification, because I don't know. So I can get a zoom on that thing. I'm just practicing here. Maybe the 3 leads give somebody a clue. Focus. Okay, anyway. So that's it. That's the inside of a crankshaft position sensor for Jeeps. And since it has a circuit board in it, and that circuit board rides entirely inside the bell housing of the transmission, for $42, I'd change it if my Jeep died unexpectedly and had no other options. I would definitely change that before I changed the computer, which is not how I did it. I changed the computer first. $200 lesson. Okay, you'll have a great day. Bye. Alright, this is the closest I can get on video, I think. I'm testing to this components on this crankshaft position sensor. Crap. Alright, let's try this again. So, Jeep 98 Grand Cherokee crankshaft position sensor. As you can maybe see in this video, I really don't know. This little bitty tiny component, better light, it has some residue around the base. The cracking of that beige neutral colored material, maybe from my working on it. I don't think that was caused before the removal. However, if you look at this one solder joint, there's 3 traces, there's 3 wires in the plug. This one looks factory and fresh. It looks good. This one you can see some corrosion at the back of the mound of solder. And if you look at this one, let me see if I can't focus it. You kind of see a crack or a fissure that runs all the way around on this one. I suspect that was the problem. You'd be driving along and it would miss one impulse that was feeding the computer, telling the computer when to fire the spark, and it was done. It would just die. No hesitation, no warning, it would just turn off. No matter when you were, where you were, highway, sitting at a red light, just die. So I'm blaming this particular issue right here for the failure of this crankshaft position sensor. Now if you stopped for 30 seconds or a minute, it would crank right back up and fire and drive fine. So I don't know if that got hot and changed the resistance values in it, or what. This circuit board inside this crankshaft position sensor lives inside the transmission bell housing. I don't see evidence of overly heated parts, but it's got to get nice and warm in there. Let's see, just for grins, if I manage to get some light. Sorry for the, I just reached for a flashlight. Wow, maybe too much light, huh? And you see that solder condition on that component? I think that might be, I think the solder, this is a 98 Grand Cherokee, and I'm just certain this stuff was finally degrading. So my suggestion is, for $42, if your Jeep just dies unexpectedly and it cranks right back up, don't change the computer as I did. I got it rebuilt for $200. First thing I think I'd do is to change this part. Now this crankshaft position sensor, if you're looking at from the back of the transmission to the front of the vehicle, lives at about the 1030 position, just behind the engine block, at the very front of the crankshaft, of the transmission bell housing. And if you get the one bolt loose, get it free, I tied a piece of paracord to it, and then I went around and plugged it from the other side and pulled it across with the paracord, and then tied the new one to it and pulled it back across. It only took about 30 minutes once I found it and got it loose, about an hour total. Anyway, battery's about to die. Glad this project's over. Thanks to Dan and Lincoln for the idea to open this thing up from the What's Inside YouTube channel.